Close your eyes. So in this morning's meditation, I'm going to first set the stage. I'm going to set the physical body up. And then what I'll do is describe two specific Marma points. Marma points, you can almost think of them as acupressure points, as in traditional Chinese medicine, but it's drawn from the Ayurvedic system. So to set up the stage first, focus on the foundation, building all the way up to the crown of the head. So I'm sitting in a pose called Siddhasana, means accomplished pose. You could also be in Virasana on your shins. You can be with feet flat. There's a bunch of different ways you can sit. So to start, I'm sitting in Siddhasana. What I'm going to do is reach my knees apart, and you might feel some activation of the outer hip, the glute. And then arrange the bowl of the pelvis by tilting the bowl of the pelvis slightly forward. You might even feel the elevation of your torso as you do that. You might feel, and hopefully you feel, the extension of the gut tissue. Set up the torso by focusing first on the back of the skull and the skull itself. What I want you to do is to lean the back of the skull back. And as you do that, you'll notice that the torso starts to drift back. This is really essential for setting up the stacking or the loading, that's another word I like, of the lumbar spine at the low mid-back. And then take a deep breath in and lift the heart, lift the gut tissue again. Just exhale and extend the arms longer if you can. I'm just kind of walking the arms out. I have my hands on my knees for this. And then after arranging the legs, the torso, the arms, the head and neck, I'm going to focus on the area of the mouth and the throat. So from here, unhinge the jaw slightly, take another deep breath in, feel nasal cavity open. Exhale out, relax the skin on the face, relax the tongue, the throat. Feel that quality of relaxation trickle down the throat, down into the heart. And that's a really simple way of setting up your seat for practice. And one of the guidelines I offer for you is to be really gentle with yourself as we move through this meditation. So what I mean by that is if you need to get up, if you need to fidget, if you need to do a forward fold, anything you need to do to reset, please do that. For the first Marma point, it's called Nasa Mula. Nasa Mula is at the midpoint between arches of eyebrows. And it is related to another junction point that's at the center of the forehead. So I'm just pointing to here, center of the forehead, Agnya. Agnya and Nasa Mula are junction points for both Ida and Pingala. These are the energetic qualities of sun, moon energy. And the center line is also a very powerful initiator of opening up energy that's bound at the base of the spine. And then I'm just going to give you, so that we can do the whole practice together and we don't have to stop and give any explanations. What I'll offer is, you're going to take two fingers once again. I'm going to switch it up. I'm going to use the right hand. The right hand tends to represent more fire. So I'm going to take peace finger together and place it directly on center of belly button. This area is called Nabhi. Nabhi simply means, in Sanskrit, simply means umbilicus, representing the umbilical cord. This is also the seat of prana, power, sun, solar energy. And there are a few additional Nabhi points. So this is the central point. And then you're going to take, if you were to follow the nipples all the way down to the rib cage, and then go just below that with two fingers this time, both sets of fingers, and press on either side. Okay, so these are the secondary points. And then the third set. So we have the center, the top two, and the third set is if we were to draw a diagonal line a little bit wider than the first two. It's setting down, think of just over, somewhere over the iliacus muscle. And if I follow the circle, we're going to do an exercise to warm up the digestive fire of the gut, also known as Agni, that process. If I think of this as a circular pattern, we have the bottom, in my case, the bottom right, all the way up to the top. This represents ascending colon. And on the top, I'm also activating some liver energy, an upper portion of pancreas energy. When I move over to top left, then we're getting into stomach and spleen energy. When we move down to the bottom, it's all about the process of removal, the process of shedding toxins. Okay, so just to warm up the system in the belly first, and then we'll move back to the forehead. So let's set up the stage one more time. You can move through those stages of knees apart, pelvis tilt, heart lift, head back. Let's just dial in. In terms of the breathing and meditation, let the breath be very soft. Take your two fingers first and place them underneath the nostrils. And breathe in a way where you're attempting not to have any wind, especially on the exhale, any wind on the fingers. And then replace the hand back down. Keep breathing just as you were. Imagine the fingers are still there. And we'll do two activities just to stimulate the energy in and around the brain of the head and the brain of the gut. So to start, you're going to take two fingers, hold on to the earlobes and just take little side tugs on the earlobes. And then with your fingers, just tap the top of your head. And I'm just making kind of big circles around, trying to cover as much surface area. And I almost like to think of it as raindrops on a tin roof, waking up the skull, waking up the energy. And then bring the hands down, palms on belly. And then to warm up the digestive area, the area of the gut and everywhere else, I'm going to start making revolutions with my hands. From the bottom to the top, that's your inhale. From the top to the bottom, that's your exhale. Let's do about anywhere from 4 to 6 of these. Place hands back down. So just sit with this. Feel for more activity, awareness in the upper brain, to the brain between the ears, and the lower brain. As you inhale, distend the belly button away from the spine and the area below the belly button. You exhale, let the belly soften in, lift the heart. 2 more breaths with ease. And then take 2 fingers of the left hand and place them on Nasa Mula. And there's much that I could say about Nasa Mula, but what I will say is that it's extremely effective placing this energy on the forehead, provided you don't have any excessive emotional disturbance. In that case, I would not place my hand on my forehead. But this practice is extremely effective, efficient at calming and balancing Vata energy. Vata being wind. This section is the command center of your intellectual self, of your mental awareness. So those things work in tandem when we can calm the wind and channel the wind of our emotions, our worries, our concerns. We also improve the functioning of the command system. There is a distinct difference between the intellectual mind and the psychic mind. Calming wind empowers that as well. If you ever have a point where your arm gets a little fatigued or tired, you can also place your right hand on your left elbow. We'll be holding the hand here just for a little while longer. I want you to feel for or sense the fine or firm pressure of your fingers on your forehead. Lift the chin slightly, lift the face. And keep that tension of pressure on the forehead. Just return the hand down. Keep the awareness on the skull. Every time you inhale, imagine you're inflating and glowing the back of the skull. And every time you exhale, pour awareness, attention, energy into the front of the skull. That one spot, very focused. Inhale, inflate the back. Exhale, spill energy into the front. And then take the right fingers, peace fingers, place them directly on Nabhi, center of the belly button. And intentionally create the sensation and the action of inhaling and inflating and distending the belly button. And exhale, relaxing. As you inhale, imagine all those 4 points around Nabhi to expand wide. And then as you exhale, those 4 points contract in naturally. No pushing, no efforting. And then return the right hand to the right knee. Focus on belly. Put your attention and your awareness directly in center of the belly button. And finally, establish both. Left hand is on forehead, right fingers on belly button. And draw a mental line between these 2 points. And in this, we open up the channel between our intellectual and our intuitive. You begin to merge those two. Or if it's of value, begin to separate those two so you can first discern what's a thought and what's a sensation. What's an idea and what's an intuition. Rest hands down to knees one last time and put your mental awareness on the space between forehead, belly, depending on where you are in your meditation practice, this may be where you are complete. And I'm going to continue longer if you choose to go longer. And we'll be relatively quiet starting now. Either place your hands on your belly or place hands to prayer, thumbs to forehead. Take 3 massive breaths in. Deep breath in. Exhale out. 2. Last one. That is our meditation practice for today.